So, are we just gonna wait for her to get back? I don't know how many customers she has to deal with or how needy those customers might be.
Who knows when she'll come back? Will she come back in the same spot? I don't know. If we move the motorcycle, will she reappear?
The motorcycle actually starts revving in like a... Has anyone catcalled anyone with a car before? Or motorcycle? Does anyone know that? No? Oh, okay. That's me. Cool. It just starts revving, just really trying to get your attention. Get on. Get on.
I don't speak motorcycle, my friend. I'm sorry.
It slowly starts moving to you. And then kickstand out and just tilt. Like, get on.
As it begins to move towards Leon, Rum Shortstack actually moves up further and he goes, all these dials are really interesting. And then he starts poking it and he goes,
don't touch my child.
Oh yeah, I can see its mask. And literally it looks like he's poking it in the eyes at this moment.
Oh right, goblins can see through it. I have a goblin's eye. Why didn't I activate it? Whatever. Well then he can see the expression of like its eyes just like him on type of like get on. Kind of raising claws to Leon like come on.
Fame out know how your deal works.
Because I'm actually calling. Sorry, thought I said that out loud. I'm calling my ride back to the market.
I don't want to go to the goblin market.
Edging you on.
Rum actually hops off the bike at this time, and then he takes his fingers and starts grabbing at its cheeks and pulling its cheeks. What a cute little mount you are.
Vroom.
So, back to Lark real quick.
Yeah. What you want?
So you've got a lot of nice maps here, says the goblin. The best way to describe this goblin is if a cricket and a tsunami were combined. So I heard you got a lot of nice maps.
Yeah, I do, Jiminy Cricket. What you got to offer?
Hey, you shouldn't be rude to your customers. I want service with a smile.
Yeah, you'll get service with a smile and a good attitude if you ain't got what I want. I was in the middle of something. So, you worth my time?
It's not my fault that you made a deal that you're unhappy with. Now, I specifically need a map of freshwater caverns.
Freshwater cavern.
No seawater. If any seawater gets into it, I can't have it.
Okay. No connection whatsoever. Which world do you want it for? This world, other world?
I do need it specifically for, what do you guys call it? Mortal? Human? Whatever you call it, I guess.
Yeah, close enough. Mortal realm. So no salt water whatsoever. Has to be fresh water, right?
Yep, and the standard deal will apply. I'll give you an IOU.
An IOU, eh?
Obviously not made out to you, but made out to the proprietor of the stand.
Yeah, he'll know immediately, and he'll reap the benefits of that at his due pleasure.
Of course.
All right. Anything else? She's kind of going through, making sure she's opening on, double checking the writing and stuff.
As he takes the map. Nope. And then that's when you're immediately yanked back. Now,
I get put back?
You're not put back on your motorcycle. It legitimately feels like you're tossed out of a door. And the nearest door to your motorcycle is the church door. So all of a sudden, you come flying out of the church.
Take me to church.
Leon, you immediately hear the body landing behind you.
Oh, at least with cloak of leaves to kind of poof into leaves first before I just hit the deck. Jeez.
You don't
Let me
really.
have some kind of.
Maybe
Don't
next
think you
time.
have reaction time.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. You've returned.
Yeah, made a deal. Now I'm back.
What did I? What?
Short stack,
we
please
say
don't
about
touch him like
making deals?
that. I kind of walk past Leon. Short stack, come on. I just got him all nice and neat.
Question: do the folk in the church react at all
They're-
to this?
Oh,
Yes, they're a good portion of them have gathered around the entrance and are staring out like, what the hell just happened? One of them
Alright.
legitimately even says, what the hell just happened?
Hey Leon, short stack, hop on.
It's a motorcycle. You can't fit 3 people on that.
Yes I can. I actually got me a little cruiser. Especially with my Fey Mount's ability of carrying multiple people. So get on, please.
Are
It's
you
the
alright,
rush.
madam? One of the churchgoers says.
Yeah, I'm good. As I look at him, is it Fluffy? Is he the Fluffy dude? Sorry, I nicknamed him in my head.
No.
Okay. Yeah, I'm all good. Just about to head out. Sorry for the disturbance. He hops
Where
on
did
and
you come from?
Trust me, you don't want to know.
yeah, I'm not the type you want to associate with. Puts her hand out to Short Stack to offer to hop on.
He kind of shakes his head. Nah, I think I actually want to stick around. I want to talk to these people. And he, once again, starts
Short
walking
Stack?
over. They-
Short Stack.
You can see his mask over it. It does not look like that when he's walking.
That's not my concern. Short Stack, you took something of mine.
I put it back on the seat.
Yeah, it's on the
He
bike.
double checks the seat. Is it there? Okay.
Yes. It is.
Cool. All right. I'll keep in touch, man. You have fun with your new friends. Leon?
At a game, I kind of want to watch the goblin talk to the wolves. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I want to talk to you about a couple things real quick.
All right,
He'll be
all right. What?
Get on.
What
Not here.
if my business is not done here?
I'll bring you back and do a couple of laps.
It'll be too late.
Is this in critical information? Is the huntsman coming?
Very.
Like,
It all involves everybody.
it all involves everybody. Okay.
Okay, it's of
Just
value
because
to
we're-
you.
You don't have to talk in riddles. We are friends here.
That's something I want to talk about. There's something going on with our friends, and I would like to do that in private.
Trust me, they'll be distracted. As I'm sure this poor goblin is running up and, like, poking everyone.
Trying them with his goblin berries.
Actually, he seems to be actually just conversing like a normal person at this moment, but who knows
He's
how long-
Are
actually-
you serious?
He knows his audience.
That guy, goblin, whatever. Leon, please hop on. Kind of revs her engine and kind of drives them off.
I'll start walking down the road.
Alright, you are such a pickle.
Look, you can just whisper. It's not like the trees are listening to you, or well, they might, but
Is there like a restaurant or a cafe somewhere nearby?
This is pretty much the middle of nowhere. So it's gonna take a 10-20 minutes to get to the nearest establishment at the very least. And it is getting close to night.
It's better for me. But fine. I park my bike around the corner and actually send them away. I'll go back to Leon. Let's walk and talk a little bit.
And as you guys walk and talk, I want to take a moment and check in on Francis.
So, as he was looking for goblin fruit, he's looking for like a variety. He doesn't want just the same thing. And then after that, if we want to skip that, it's up to you.
Well, there is going to be some goblin fruit that you know. There are some ogre peppers that grow in the main hollow.
Those are spicy ones.
Yes, those exist. A lot of goblin fruit, though, if you want a vast variety of it, the best place to go is going to be the goblin market. Otherwise, you're going to be foraging maybe for days.
Days. I don't really have time to spend days looking for fruit. But that goblin market is a pain. Fine, I'll go to the goblin market.
Hedge spend me.
Yes, head spin. Let's do manipulation and persuasion. Why not? It's
Okay.
not the best roll, but you know, I'll ask to get there.
All right, give me that roll.
And it fails. Oh, wow, 3 ones.
One moment.
3 out of 4.
He's going to get the book of dramatic hedge spinning rules.
I know. 3 out of 4 ones. I just wanted to do something different instead of my normal highest attributes and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That's
I
what
can
you get for
respect it.
trying to be different.
Yeah.
The hedge won't respect it. It doesn't
Yeah, I
care.
know. It doesn't care.
All right, so with that, the section of vines that you've spoken with, instead of doing what you had requested and showing you the way to the goblin market, they immediately decide to, well, rot and decay in front of you. They become black vines. And the way you see it is, it's not like, bam, all of a sudden they're black. It is very much from the ground up. You can see them start to turn black as the hedge essentially dies in front of you.
Well, that's concerning. No wonder it didn't follow through with my request, even so I asked so nicely. Okay.
Who's fake barking?
There's another dog in the hedge somewhere. It's a goblin, I'm sure.
It looks
Well-
like any sort of travel is going to be the longest way possible, essentially. Gonna have to go to the hollow, probably leave the hollow, go 1 foot to the hotel, and then from there, because there is a trod.
Okay. The long way, but the sure way.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to go through all the steps then, so yeah. You said hollow, then trod, then hotel.
No, hollow, then hotel, then back into the hedge, and follow the trod from there.
I'll do that. Do I need to roll for that too?
No.
Okay.
This is a guaranteed path, but it does take a
Just
while.
takes longer.
As you arrive at the goblin market, you are just barely able to see a fleeing, and by fleeing I mean being flung backwards, Larkspur. Yeah,
What?
like literally somebody had wrapped a rope around her waist and yanked her.
Was that? No, that couldn't be. Why would she? No, that couldn't be her. Why would she have a stall in the goblin market? Mine's playing tricks on me. Okay, so I need to go grocery shopping.
There's a few. A lot of the grocery stores are dead, as in completely boarded up. You see, you do come across the cage that has 4 to 5 changelings in it now. The one that you were captured in.
Hmm.
The rock goblin kind of gives you a knowing glance as he, come one, come all, see these changelings,
And
Give it-
I flip him up as I pass.
Walk by a small goblin market store. It seems to have some. They're not the largest, and they're not the prettiest. But it has goblin fruit.
Okay.
They're very much like, you know how a tomato is supposed to be about yay big, fit nicely in the palm of your hand?
Mhm.
They're like this big. They're exceedingly small.
Could maybe pass it off as a cherry tomato? Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I'll have a chat with the shop owner and see what kind of deals can be had.
This particular goblin is very much a plant almost unto himself. Viney limbs and what looks to be a Venus flytrap for a face. And as it talks, the trap opens like this.
Feed me, Seymour.
So what can I interest you in? I've got the best fruit that you can find nowadays. Especially now that competitor's out of the market.
What happened to the competitor, by the way?
Well, the rumors I hear is he set fire to his own fields. What an idiot.
Now, why would he go and do that? That seems odd for somebody in the market to do.
I don't know, but I was tired of being beat out by a changeling.
Well, what do you have to offer on sale here? What's good? What's in season?
Goblin fruit. Goblin fruit's always in season.
Always in season. Yes.
Now,
Any...
I have the basic variety, or the basic stuff here. I can get you some of the more fancy stuff. But that'll cost you, my son.
What kind of costs we talking?
Well, let's see here. I'm not a swindler. I'm not gonna do to you what my friend did to that other changeling. It really does depend on what fruit you're looking for, though. Is there a specific type that you're looking for?
Something really sweet that goes well in a dessert. I don't know if you know what a dessert is, but it's really sweet.
Sweet varieties. Let's see here. There's a couple of them. Are you looking for one for a specific mood?
Is freedom a mood?
Freedom. Not really. I could get you some fairy peaches. Maybe some vines of Bacchus. They're pretty cheerful. I assume freedom is cheerful, so that's my logic there.
Can work. How much would those run me?
Vines of Bacchus? Ooh. Rainbow paste, let's see here. They're pretty rare, but I have a couple of contacts. You know what? I'll do you a solid. You seem like a stand-up guy. I'll take a standard IOU.
Oh. That's not bad. That's the general goblin debt, right? Out of game?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, yeah. And then maybe throw in a few of the regular ones and you have a deal.
Alright, with a few of the regular ones, we'll just call it an even 2.
That's fine.
Alright, so how many of the regular goblin fruits? 5?
Yeah, 5.
He pushes in with a vine, pushes in 5, spins the bag and, hangs it off of a little tendril. So, the Bacchus ones, you're gonna have to give me, at least a day. As stated, I have to procure that. That's not something I keep, stored here. That's how you get shanked. Matter of fact, follow me, just to prove that I am gonna keep my end of the bargain.
Okay.
He takes you over to a stand. This stand has an assortment of maps on it. It's also the stand that you saw Larkspur get dragged from. And he begins to hit the bell. The reverse of what you saw originally is what you see this time. As if somebody is pulling her by her midsection with a rope.
Wait, does she need to roll?
Not
No,
this,
okay.
Not this
No.
time. This Venus flytrap looking goblin standing next to Francis is at your stall.
Yeah, and you see, she doesn't even have a chair anymore. It's more like a bean bag made of, hay or something, just so she can, pop into it,
Nope. There's
that-
standing
no
room
time.
only.
Any room. Nice. Okay, so just come to a nice skid halt. Oh yeah, how's it going? Francis?
Lark? I could ask you the same. I'm just doing some grocery shopping, and this fellow wanted to prove something to me about his wares, and I guess about bad deals, I assume now.
Yeah,
Why are you running a
got
shop?
around the market as I look at the goblin.
Yes.
Around the market.
So, I need a map to the nearest vine of Bacchus.
And you kind of see her just still looking, still facing at you guys, but just using the wind to kind of just sort through all the maps and just spinning and floating around. Opening one, that's not it. Toss it back in the air, it floats back to place. That's not it. Open another one. Okay, vine of Bacchus. What you want for it?
Ah, yes. I will. And then he kind of smirks at Francis. I will actually give one of his IOUs. You paid me
Oh.
too, so I'm going to give one of them to you. Or, well, your boss.
Yeah, the boss. He'll sense that in a minute. Deal's been made. He floats it over to you guys and just sends the other ones back.
And then as soon as that deal is concluded, you see the exact same image, Francis.
Oh.
I just dab away. Oh, this sucks.
I think she had a bit of whiplash there. Looked like she dabbed. A bit of brain damage.
Oh yeah. You know, to match that mental trauma, you know, and the tattoos, get some whiplash up in there.
So how does that map work?
He holds it out in front of you. It is literally a map from the stand with little dotted lines up to a point with an X. I just gotta go there. And that's where the Vine of Bacchus is gonna be. He quickly rolls it up before you get a chance to memorize it.
I figured as much.
So,
I've already paid for it.
so I will go ahead and go collect that. I will see you back here when I'll get a hold of you and let you know when it's time to pick up.
Okay. How are you gonna do that?
Standard way. I'll tap on a mirror or something.
Okay.
Maybe if you have plants, I'll talk through the plants. Who knows?
I think I got some plants in the apartment. That should be still alive.
Well, it seemed like you knew that person. You might want to go check on them.
I probably should. It seems odd that they're working here in this place. I don't know how. I don't know where they went though. I guess, yeah, I'll go look into that. Thank you for your concern and your berries.
And with that, we're going to return to Jimmy. The train has reached its next stop. People are starting to get on at this location.
Yeah, I'm gonna get off. Just make my way back up above ground.
As you come up, the sun has started to set, I believe, at this time. And you are just one in a crowd at this moment as people hurry to and fro. As you kind of look around, this looks to be mostly office buildings and the like, so you're not in a residential section of the city by any stretch.
Well, I'll just go into the nearest one. Or the nearest one which hopefully has some kind of little side door, bathroom, janitor's closet, whatever. Just go through that, but I'll open up the door to the hedge.
As you enter into this building, you are greeted by the front desk clerk. How can I help you today?
Is there any indication what they do here?
How cheesy do I want to make this?
Considering how the session's already been going, why not keep going?
Yeah.
I'll
the
do
cheese.
cheesy. Melty goodness.
We are a record label. One of our claims to fame is we founded Taylor Swift.
Right, yeah, well, remembering what the other guy said. I'm here to see Jimmy Carstigan.
Does he know that you're expecting him?
No.
She begins typing on the computer. Unfortunately, he seems to be in a meeting already.
Well, tell him his son's here.
His
Pretty sure I can pass off as Jimmy Carstigan's son.
I'll put the note in. Once he's out of the meeting, I'll see if he responds to it. And in the meantime, feel free to have a seat over there. And she kind of moves her head over to what looks to be like a seating area. Have some water, some coffee. Restrooms are right over there.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, don't worry, I'll come back another time. But I'll use the little boy's room before I go.
You know, it's all right. Yeah, you weren't the first one that came in like this today.
What? Looking for the old man?
Oh, no, it was another couple of people. I don't remember how many. I hadn't gotten in quite yet. I took a half day today. All I have here are notes. It says former band members. She shrugs.
Right, no, I mean, any indication? No names or anything.
Unfortunately, the person who took this note didn't really say anything, but he accepted them, so I'm assuming he knows them. Probably another band looking to get a deal. I don't entirely know.
Well, if you leave a note, and I'll scribble out a few details. If it's any of these people, a list of 3 names of Harvey, Ali, and Lewis, and I'll write my number. If it's any of those 3, that's my number. Obviously, I've known those guys a long time. It'd be great to see them.
All right, I can check when they come down. That's who he's still meeting with.
Right. Yeah, like I say, I'll sort myself out, but another time maybe.
All right. Have a wonderful day. She gives you a somewhat cheery smile.
Walking away, you have no idea. And with that, I'll go to the bathrooms, but I'll open the door and go to the hollow. Spend a bit of glamour.
All right. Having arrived at the hollow, is there a particular place you want to go?
Liquor cabinet.
And whatever goblin fruit alcohol there is, start drinking it?
Yep, neat from the bottle.
All right. Francis, are you heading back to the hollow?
That would probably be on his route because he doesn't know where Lark went, so he's checking known spots.
Okay, then you will find Jimmy at the hollow. Currently having finished the first of what I'm assuming are going to be mini bottles.
Francis. Oh,
Jimmy,
well.
are you drinking my liquor? That's for cooking.
This is good for drinking as well. Trust me, mate, I need this one.
What's wrong? You look out of it.
I feel out of it. Well, there's no easy way to say it, but Sonya.
What's with Sonya?
She's gone.
Gone?
I don't know what happened. I saw her. She was covered in blood. Her ice was going. It was out of control. It was like it was beginning to take her. she's one of them.
What, like,
Talks about escaping. Not, we wouldn't have to run anymore. Everything was that she was seeing things clearly, and she wasn't afraid. And I will offer Francis the bottle as well.
Francis will take the bottle, walk away to get a couple of glasses to pour it in. Come back with a different bottle, not for cooking.
Jimmy probably can't taste the difference anymore.
No, it's cheap stuff. So, she's like, what's the word? Switched? No. You said she was already changed, so what's past that?
She went all the way. I guess.
Why?
I don't know. Afraid.
Well, fear is a powerful motivator. Makes you do and say things you probably shouldn't. But that seems a bit far. Is there anything? What do we do from here? What can we do?
Last thing she said before we parted ways, I guess, it was she'd never come after me, so well, hopefully she reads into applies that to the rest of us as well. It's just what we need is another huntsman on our case eventually, but it doesn't seem to be that way. Who knows? Sit tight, I guess.
Does anyone else know yet?
Haven't seen him. You're the first one, and to be honest, I was rather hoping no one would like that.
I was just passing through looking for Lark. She's been kind of rubber banding around, apparently. I was just gonna try and find her and check up on her. But, how are you? How are you doing? You gonna get through this? Something I can do for you?
Appreciate your offer, but we survive. What we do, right?
That is, that's the goal, right? Survive to the next day and the next, and keep trying.
Yeah. I'll at least help you find Lark, I mean, but doing something sitting here and waiting for, well, I don't know what.
Well, don't drink all of my alcohol.
I'll come with you.
Okay.
Keep my mind busy.
Keep your mind busy. That's a good idea. Just try not to dwell on it. I know that's
Right.
tall order. Sorry, I don't have any comforting words of wisdom for you.
Nah, those that do usually are less help than they think they are.
Yeah. All I can do is listen. I'm good at listening. I'm a good listener.
Another time, perhaps. Anyway, let's go. Let's try and find Lark then.
Alright, so I'm gonna exit the hollow to wherever it is in the material world.
I will follow with an unsteady gait. But
I would say since the first place you entered the hollow was your apartment, Francis, that's where you exit out into is your apartment.
Okay.
With that, though, let's go ahead and go back to Lark and Leon. Lark, who was not thrown out of the church.
I was just about to ask, who's kicking me out this time? It's like a cowboy saloon going on over here.
Did she just kind of like disappear while we were standing there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a passing car.
No.
She flies from the door of a passing car.
They're probably so terrified.
N-
I just
th-
roll.
this car was going about 60. They didn't even notice it.
Okay, good. Nice.
You might.
Dashing, huh?
She's actually fine
Okay.
because she was not thrown out with the momentum of a car
Okay.
going 60.
Lucky.
Is she within sight?
Yes.
Like, okay.
So I get back up. Just ignore that. Like I was saying.
Yes, yes. What were
has
you
happened.
saying that is so important that you had to come in person to tell me instead of just like calling?
Well, I'd rather look you in the face as I tell you something because a lot of things has happened to the other. Kind of pulls out the map. I got this with an unsavory deal that I do regret. Don't rub it in my face because it involves that constantly happening. Basically, I can see where everyone is. And as I look, well, and I just took it back. When I look at everyone, that's how I know, that's how I knew where you were. I also, probably like 30 minutes ago, I knew where Jimmy is. Knew where, at least, I can't say Sonya. Something weird is with Sonya. Very weird.
Okay. Have you tried calling her, texting her, etc.?
I've been flying, and in the hedge, things are weird when you text, and I don't want any interference with the huntsman. And also, I kind of got a
Leon is
bug
going to
problem?
sigh and pull out his phone and try to text Sonya. Is everything all right?
as he's calling, I'm gonna keep talking. That last fight we had, I got a bug problem. I'm just gonna put it simply. It's
Yeah, I know. I was there. I saw you nearly
Yes.
kill yourself.
Yes, and I wish I did die. Because now I'm living with a timer that's ticking a lot faster than all of you.
If you're ready to give up, I'm gonna unsling my shotgun. I have a solution, although you might not like it. I don't
Uh-huh.
want to see you kill yourself. But
I'm not
if you're
gonna
so
kill
defeated
myself.
and you're going to give up here,
Okay, you sound like a wounded soldier. Stop it. I'm not going to kill myself. That's why I got the map. I'm going to find someone powerful than you, powerful than me, get me a new body. Because this map can show me any desire. Any person, place, or thing, it will show it to me. Even showed me
okay, well, where
a
does it
weird
lead?
thing. Wherever you want.
Okay. Where is this person that's going to help you? Does the map tell you?
Yeah,
Can I
out of
see the
game.
map?
Where was that? Out of game? That was
Brazil.
that was Brazil. Yeah, Brazil. You. Yeah, Brazil.
Okay.
Oh,
Now,
you want to skip town? I got a destination.
I'm not about to leave the others to go to Brazil.
Really now? Why not?
Because they are still in threat as well, just as much as you are.
You guys got more time, and unless you want a bug bomb around you, I don't think I'm gonna be much use to anybody.
It's not about the time.
Really?
It's about the huntsman. The huntsman's looking for all of us. If we all split up and run around, especially such distances like that where we can't even begin to think to help each other, we'll just get picked off one by one.
I'm skipping town. I can't stay here like this. And she's not gonna flash him, but she's just gonna show her arm and just kind of flex and bend it just to show little cretin.
She flexes her arm and you see nothing.
Tattoos, maybe?
Yeah, tattoos.
You're probably tattooed.
Yeah.
I am not well.
Okay. But I can't drop everything to run across the planet with you. I'm going to be completely honest with you. If you suspect that something has happened to Sonya, something is going on, if you suspect that the huntsman is after Francis, I have to look into this first. Like, that's the more immediate problem.
What can we do against the huntsman? Seriously. The last couple of times.
Don't tell me now you're gonna be Sonya too.
I'm not Sonya. I believe with what I see right in front of me, and I saw nothing affect him. Not a dang thing.
The huntsman has not fought us on even ground yet.
Even ground, here, there, anywhere. He has all the ground. This is not our territory. We do not have a place to defend. It doesn't matter. We had a place to defend. No offense, your place. And that couldn't even take on bugs. Imagine if he comes storming the castle of the Hollow.
I mean, it did take on the bugs. It was other circumstances that allowed the bug. Look, it's not a matter of... It's not important. If you're ready to skip town, so be it. Why not discuss it with everyone first? Jimmy and Sonya were ready to run months ago. Francis never made up his mind.
True. But we can talk
Besides-
in a group chat first.
I just said that, yes. I assume I got no reply from my first text to Sonya, and
Nothing
I will
yet.
text the other two. Where are you at? Do you want to meet up somewhere? We need to have a talk.
Ding! For both Francis and Jimmy.
Oh, that's
Who's gonna do the whole?
And you get drunk off of goblin fruit juice? Is that a thing?
Anything's
Oh,
You don't even need the juice. You could probably get a goblin fruit that'll make you drunk. That's just...
Yeah.
For all you know, I've been drinking laudanum.
What else can you do with goblin fruit?
What can't you do with goblin fruit?
There's goblin fruit that tastes like meat.
Why? Well, actually, in real
Sure.
life, there's actually fruit that tastes like. that's weird. Ah,
Okay, so then
Durians.
if Jimmy is having trouble replying, which he probably is, sending random gibberish, Francis will answer.
You get the response. Question mark. Apprement. Gun emoji.
And Francis follows up with what he means to say is, where do you want to meet up? We have a bit of news to share as well.
I'm not near a door, am I? We're in the middle of the woods.
Yes.
you want to go back to church?
The hollow will work if that's fine with you. It'll take us a minute to get there, but
I would like to be somewhere familiar one last time.
I see.
They said the hollow's fine, Jimmy.
Back to the drinks cabinet.
maybe not so much. Let's get you like a 7-Up or something.
You
yeah, I'm
sound just
gonna
like
run.
my mother. Right, I'll find you to sleep.
I'll run back through the woods and quickly borrow the church's door.
Everybody, alright, are meeting up at the hollow.
Greetings, friends. Been a minute, Jimmy, and I can tell you are worse for the wear.
Really, what gave it away?
The empty bottle in the corner of the room. But nonetheless, I suppose I shall start this little conversation here. Lark has drove through the woods to hunt me down and wants to leave. She wants to completely skip town and head across the planet. Now, I don't know what her plan is. She also came with news about something going on with Sonya, who is not with you, I can tell. I have not received a reply from, I will say.
Save your questions for the end, but don't worry about Sonya.
Why would I not worry about Sonya? I worry about all four of
care
you.
of us. She can take care of herself.
Yeah, she apparently made a decision. She's essentially not gonna be here anymore.
She finally snapped and gave in to the huntsman, eh?
No.
That's hard to hear.
Half right. From my understanding, is she did go off the rails, but not with the huntsman. More like she wanted to be more and to not be afraid. So she, I think, went the route of becoming a true fae instead of just half like we are.
Instead of running from monsters, you become the monster.
Don't say it like that, please.
That is disappointing to hear.
I know, right? Yeah. If you want to join me, I don't blame you.
Oh, I think we should keep our senses, because, Francis.
Hmm?
Kinda checked up on you a few times.
How?
It's not my only concern at the moment. What have you? What have you been up to?
Let's see. I've been shopping. I got some goblin fruits. What else? I'm planning a dinner, but I was gonna announce it later because we had like some other news that seemed more important and heavy. So, I mean, I guess I'm telling it now, but it doesn't really match what you're all feeling. So, yeah.
Feelings are unreliable. I do try to believe what I see most of the time, and I've checked up on everyone every once in a while, and an unexpected guest hanging around with you.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you get your grocery list from the huntsman?
No? Why?
'Cause I saw him with you.
And this is surprising to you? He's hunting all of us. Of course he's gonna come to me. He's gonna come to you. He's gonna come to Leon and Jimmy and everybody.
Yeah. I don't know. Something doesn't feel right. You were just standing there, just talking. You guys talk? Because he didn't seem like the chatty fellow when he met with all of us.
Maybe you weren't paying attention.
I do recall him having quite the fairly long conversation with us.
He likes
For a
More-
huntsman, he does a remarkable lack of actual hunting and is more trying to bargain with us.
he likes
bargain.
to gloat.
No.
He likes to gloat. I think I know what you're talking about. He came essentially to say that there was one less of us, and I was confused about what he was meaning. But now I guess he was talking about Sonya. He knew before we did.
He'll probably keep track of all of his prey to see what's a prey and what's a possible predator now. But he can handle himself, obviously.
No matter the situation behind it, the bigger question remains: run and hope that we can at least throw the huntsman off for a little bit, or stay.
I went somewhere else earlier. There's others like us. We can begin again.
That sounds nice. Start somewhere new with a new court, possibly more reliable. That'll be good, Leon.
But yes, we could skip town. Plenty of places to run, but
I've got a contact somewhere else. Early days, but I'm sure I can. Re-establish something there, and maybe they can help us out, get us make the introductions. We just begin again away from here. Nope.
That's one vote for going out. I'm in.
Are you out or in? Sorry, that was inappropriate.
No, that's actually a good question, because sometimes I'm here, sometimes I'm there, I'm in there, over there, out there.
yes, we
Nonetheless-
really do need to talk about how to make deals with goblins. I thought
Don't pour salt in the
the
wound.
courts
all
gave
right?
some education. I can
Wait,
tell
wait,
the
wait.
autumn court was a little lacking.
Coming from a court full of
Roll,
cowards. but
roll
that's nice.
back. Roll back. Look, what have you done?
Desperate times comes for desperate measures. I got a shorter timer than the rest of you.
According to the goblin, that was our good friend Rum, who I'm actually quite worried about right now.
Oh yeah. Oh.
I might want to go check on him in a moment and hope he's still not doing anything stupid. But according to him, she made a deal with a merchant for indentured servitude.
Yeah.
Is that why you're working at that stall?
Yeah. He gave me something quite valuable, and I took it because why not? Life is short, right? At least my
Yeah, you
life
don't
is
want to
gonna be
spend it in
short.
indentured servitude.
That's what we left. That's what we ran from.
And on that note, we are going to go back to Sonya. The train has just left with Jimmy on it. You stand there for a few minutes, maybe hours. Perception of time is getting harder for you to keep track of. The phone in your pocket vibrates. You see that it is Leon checking in on you. Is there any message you want to leave?
She holds on to the phone close to her, and she just types. My dear friends, time is a funny thing. Our mere existence is a tragic comedy. My words rung true. I will always see you all as friends. It is sad to say that our journey together has come to an end. Please take care. Watch over Jimmy for me. ... And send.
With that, another train shows up behind you. The door freezes over behind you as you go to move into it. The image before you is not the inside of a train car, but that of Arcadia.
You have just finished listening to this week's episode of Changeling the Lost 2nd Edition. Once more into the Hedge, part of the Domain Gaming's Contagion Anthology, written and told by Wyverian. A special thanks to you, the listener, and if you wish to continue supporting us, subscribe, like, and share. And as always, comments are welcomed. Until the next chapter, don't stop asking yourself, how do you find the lost beauty in the agony of this life?